Welcome to Movie
Bitches. Retro Review, episode 56. Steel Magnolias.
Steel Magnolias.
This episode is dedicated to Authentic Paint, our patron big spender.
Appropriate, because of Shirley MacLaine. Big spender.
Big spender.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Wow. Sorry.
Wow.
We might cut all of this.
I was going to say, I don't think we're going to have this released in time for July 3rd to be
For
Franklin Jr.? What was his name?
No, it had a J.
Jackson Jr.
Born on the 3rd of July.
Dermot McDermott Jr.
I mean, Dermot McDermott can get it. But also maybe not. But also, yes.
Well,
But I don't think I would marry him.
This
like,
character
if we're playing
is...
fuck, marry, kill,
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck, not kill, not marry.
But
you know?
what about Dermot McDermott?
I don't know which Dermot I'm more into.
I'm gonna say
think
Dermot.
This Dermot.
I think other Dermot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why,
Fair.
but there you go. Maybe because of this character in this movie.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
You know you won't go through with this.
I think enough time has passed. Obviously, we're wearing our fabulous
Yeah.
Bunt Island shirts because obviously.
Obviously. So, okay,
This might
here's
be-
the crazy thing.
Well, I was going to say, this might be the ultimate fabulous Bunt cast. It's up there.
It's certainly up there.
like
Certainly
in
up
all
there.
in one. All in
Yeah, exactly.
In one,
like an ensemble.
in
Yeah.
one beauty shop, we've got all the fabulous buns, and wow.
Truvies is definitely the, beauty shop of FCI.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love that.
Oh, but wait, okay, stop, pause. First things first, shout out to our Patreon supporters. $5 a month gets you early access. $10 gets you access to our viewing parties. Second thing second, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Go to trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off your first month of wine. Third things third, make sure to subscribe, share. Oh my God.
Oh,
now
yeah.
if Cher was
in
in
this
this movie.
Honestly, I could see it. I mean,
Yeah.
not to replace anyone, but just she's also there because it's
Yes.
Cher.
It's Cher. Also, for some reason, at a certain point in this movie, I was like, oh, I think the only other person to play, I guess it was Olympia Dukakis' role for some reason,
Oh.
was Elaine Stritch.
Well, they had similar hair and hat.
Maybe that's what it was. And
Situations.
yes, I think it was the,
You know.
I think that's what it was. It was like the funeral hat.
I see
And
it.
I was like, that's like Elaine Stritch.
Yeah. I think Olympia Dukakis is my favorite in this.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the person I A, identify with the most, B, want to be like the most, and is just my favorite across the board,
Yeah.
I think.
If you can't say anything nice about anybody, come sit by me.
If you have nothing nice to say, come sit by me.
By me.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Most of my notes are just long quotes that I wrote down from the film. Most of my
I'm
notes
so
are
glad. I was like, oh, that line is so great. Oh, that line is so great. And then I was like, I should be taking notes. And I was in bed watching it,
there's
which
a-
I feel like is probably a perfect
I
way to
think
watch
that's-
this movie.
One of the reviews I read was, watch this while you're wrapping Christmas presents. And I was like, I don't know if that's okay. Like, I mean, yes, absolutely. But also, heavy.
So, okay, I have to get this out. I had never seen this movie until now, which I know is insane.
And
I loved it. First of all, I'm a sucker for any movie
Sally
where
Field.
fabulous bunts are just, well, certainly Sally Field, but also just where any movie where fabulous bunts are just friends.
just
You know what I mean?
fabulous
Like,
friends being fabulous
League
buns.
of Their Own?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bunch of fabulous bunts being friends? Yes, please. Sign me up. And I loved that. This movie, 1989.
Yep.
Hardly any men. The men are all
Well,
boring and terrible. No one cares.
In the play, because it's based on a play.
Of course.
In case you hadn't noticed. It does a pretty good job of expanding it outside of a theater, but it's definitely obvious.
Yeah.
In the play, there are no men. They talk about the men in their lives, but they are not cast members. And I was like,
I love
yeah,
that.
I could see that. And I'm assuming the entire play takes place in Truvies. I'm assuming it's one set that they just keep,
Sure.
here's the gossip of today. Oh, no, this what's
Right.
happening? You know what I mean?
Right,
In
right,
and
right.
out. Because there is passage of time is swift in this film. It'll just be
Yeah.
like, and I'm pregnant. Here's the baby. You know what I mean? There's no, like, it just, and
It's his first birthday.
yeah, exactly.
But I was gonna say, I don't think it's that sad. Like, obviously, it's sad, and you cry.
Not me
But, like,
just, sobbing during the cemetery scene. Just like,
Well,
it's Sally's field.
certainly,
Oh my
certainly.
God. Crying right now thinking about it.
Although, I'm not gonna lie, Sally Field's crying
Well,
took me out.
we've ruined her because we made that montage of.
It's true.
Her crying.
It's all I could think of. It's all.
No,
I could
it
think
still
of.
got me when she's just like screaming why and crying. I was
Yes,
like, oh my God.
that's true.
It's-
Oh, God, I want to know why.
that cemetery scene is the scene, right? That's the iconic scene that you had probably seen that scene.
Or
just
parts of it, yeah.
in existing on the planet that is Earth. I think this movie does what a lot of movies fail to do, and maybe that's not what they were trying to do, but like I would put this, I guess, in the same category as August Osage County, or it's the same genre, right? But what this movie does is gives you some kind of levity, realism. It's not a horrible sadness, just muck of, there's no hope in like August Osage County. It's just like, fuck. And so I feel like
I haven't seen it, so.
you're good. But there's a lot of movies like that where it's like family dramas about tragedies or something, and there's just no levity, and you're like, oh, this is oppressively sad. And I think this movie does a amazing job of balancing that, where it's horribly sad, but also funny and uplifting and
Yeah.
brava.
It's a movie about life, right?
Easter, rebirth, death, spring.
Yeah.
It's not subtle, but
No. No, but it's still lovely.
lovely and charming.
But also, like, it's not stepmom.
Oh,
Like
boy.
it's not quite as melodramatic or something.
I think
I don't
we are
know.
going to find that our generation was permanently scarred by stepmom. That movie stuck with me. Like, I feel like that was not appropriate for me to be watching at the age that I saw it. But also, I think we will like look back and say, what is the movie that most just, it's Stepmom. Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Also Julia Roberts.
Also Julie Roberts, yes. I was reading about it. It was supposed to, it was down to Winona Ryder and her, which I think wouldn't have worked at all. Because, like, Julie Roberts is from the South. I think she's from Georgia, I want to say. But she is from the South. I feel like Winona Ryder just looks too cool, New York, hip, groovy girl. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess How to Make an American Quilt, she kind of pulled it off. But anyway, another fabulous Bunce being fabulous friends movie. Have you seen How to Make an American Quilt? How to Sew an American Quilt? What is it? I haven't seen it in a really long time, but it's all very like, we're all fabulous and we're sewing this quilt, and they each, give her a patch, and then we flash back to what that patch meant to that woman back in the 40s or whatever. And I remember it being good. I haven't seen
That's
it
nice.
in probably 20 years.
But yeah, Julia Roberts. I mean, you know that I think I only like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman.
What about when she got her Tinkerbell hook hair in this?
It was almost as bad as her Mother's Day wig.
You don't like Julia Roberts in Notting Hill?
No, that's fair. I like her Notting Hill.
I like Julia Roberts in most things. But then when you don't like her, it's, whoa, it's not. Like when she really sticks out when it doesn't work. And then when it does work, you're like, you're charming and lovely. Like there's a really cute movie, Satisfaction, where it's like her and Justine Bateman are in like a girl band. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like one of her...
and Justin Bateman?
Justine... His sister, Justine Bateman.
Jason and Justine. Okay.
Yes. I think, like I said, when she works, it's great. And when it doesn't work, it's Mother's Day or various other things.
Well, I will stand on record. I do not think that My Best Friend's Wedding is a good movie.
I haven't seen it since it came out, but I loved it at the time. And I was obsessed with the soundtrack.
Well, I get that.
And that is where my love for Rupert Everett began. So... I respect and hear your opinion, but I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm not saying that there aren't parts that are great and iconic.
Dermot
obviously.
McDermott.
Yeah, but the other Dermot.
The other one. She's been in movies with both Dermots.
With both, yeah.
There's a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game here.
But even in this, I was going to say, and I think part of it's just the character, but I was like, I mean, this is going to sound way harsh, Ty, but I was like, I mean, it better be her and not Sally Field. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you thought like Sally Field was going to die on the operating table or something?
Like, oh yeah, oh the kidney, oh she didn't make it through the surgery. And I was like, that fucking bitch.
Shelby
had to have the kid.
Shelby is when I first watched this movie, I was younger. And I remember being like, what a selfish bitch. Just don't have, I mean, like, that's way harsh, Ty. But I remember being like, you know, don't kill yourself. There's options. And I thought it was very strange, this plot line. Maybe this was the 80s when she was just like, they would never give an adoptive baby to someone with diabetes. And I was like, what?
I had the same reaction.
Huh? Like, just full stop, no, absolutely not. I was like, well, okay. But maybe that was the thing. I don't know. It seemed like just, and absolutely not, never. And that seemed harsh. Also,
but
I always sided with Sally Field being like, your fucking husband wants an heir and that's going to kill you. And I was like, what the fuck?
Fair.
I was with Sally.
Well, you know, I get that. Although I will say at the end, she got what she wanted, right? I thought that conversation of like, I'd rather have 30 minutes of wonderful than a lifetime of nothingness. And I mean, sadly, that's what she got, was a year and a half of it. And she got the immortality. I thought that was interesting too, right? Here's like a way of achieving immortality through this child. Well, there you go.
So Steel Magnolias, we haven't really gotten to the bottom of it. Yes.
We haven't.
So, directed by Herbert Ross, who has directed some of my favorite movies. Last of Sheila, Turning Point, Goodbye Girl, Boys on the Side, which I have also not seen since perhaps it came out in theaters. He did Funny Lady, the ill-fated sequel to Funny Girl.
Funny Girl, right, wow.
And Footloose.
Oh!
Like a lot of, a wide array.
That tracks.
There's an
Americana vibe.
An Americana, right? Like this movie is, even in its saddest moments, is really fun to look at. I know that sounds weird, but like in the cemetery scene, you're still going, oh, this lighting is beautiful, and even their outfits, even though they're all, you know, dressed in funereal clothes, like there's a engaging visual storytelling going on that is happy, which lends itself a lot to making this movie not so horribly sad.
Yes, absolutely. They took the time. Every character is developed both as an actor, but also like visually, and you know, like you can see who that person is. You know each one from 50 feet away.
When Shirley MacLaine is walking around in her overalls, fur coat, and diamond earrings, I was just like, yes to this choice. Obsessed.
I mean, well, so, okay, we haven't talked about the cast fully. We've touched briefly on Olympia Dukakis. We've touched briefly on Sally Field. Shirley MacLaine, Dolly Parton, we haven't even said.
We haven't even mentioned Dolly. Crazy. Fabulous.
Daryl Hannah, probably my least favorite character.
Yeah, they don't, because I was reading the, like, plot description on IMDb, and it's like, it reads like she's the main character. Like, it's like a young beautician comes into a small town and finds a group of friends, blah, blah. And I was like, was that the plot? Like, I don't...
I mean, that's how it starts, right?
Yes.
She's walking, and then she walks into this whirlwind of a place. I felt like that was just a device to get us in, and then here we are. Now, the group is the subject. But
she has the most wishy-washy... Like, she comes and she's a very meek, sort of battered person, and then she flips to the other side and she becomes Dolly Parton. I mean, she's a doppelganger for Dolly Parton, which was fabulous, but she gets wild. And then suddenly she's like conservatively, uber religiously, you know, I'm sinners and blah, blah, blah. And then she kind of eases back and chills out a little bit. So there was a lot of back and forth, and it seemed like at some point, because they keep talking about like, why is she so intense about this suddenly? And there wasn't really an answer for it, other than maybe she was finding herself. But it was a lot of over here, now she's over here, now she's over here.
Yeah. Well, it almost felt like it was touching briefly on like the evangelical, you know, intensity.
Yeah.
So maybe that was, you know,
but
just
the movie didn't really want to.
Right. They were like, let's not go too far there, but we'll sprinkle it in.
We're Southern women. We wear silly hats. We garden. We go to church. It's what we do.
do. I don't make the rules.
I don't make the
know.
rules. I was reading about it. Apparently, Betty Davis saw the play and thought, oh, that would be fabulous. I think she wanted to play Weezer. I think she wanted to play
Of course.
Shirley MacLaine, obviously. And she was like trying to get it together so that it would be her, Katharine Hepburn, and Elizabeth Taylor for the movie. And I was like, yes.
I love that line. In terms of suffering, she's right up there with
right
Elizabeth
up there
Taylor.
with Elizabeth Taylor. Oh.
Yes to that cast. So what? Elizabeth Taylor would be Sally Field.
Yes,
Katharine Hepburn would be Olympia Dukakis.
I assume, yes. That was as far. They
I don't
didn't
know who
have
Dolly Parton would be.
Dolly Parton.
Just Dolly.
Just always Dolly. Always Dolly.
Always.
I mean, it was fun to see Sam Shepard playing her husband. I have like a soft spot for Sam Shepard. I find him to be fascinating. As a person, he's this like prolific playwright, right? That's this like, mysterious figure in the arts world. And then he shows up, in Steel Magnolias and various other strange kind of projects. And you're like, oh, Sam Shepard, what are you doing here? You're so mysterious and, literary. It's like, ooh.
Ooh. Okay, fair. I mean, he was there for like 30 seconds, as it should be, though.
I appreciated that all of the men that showed up were, basically wallpaper.
Props.
They were just, it's Drum, my husband. He's there. Tom Skerritt. It was Tom Skerritt.
Yep. Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt.
Actually, he did have, Sam Shepard had like a nice little, it was like work is so hard, I'm depressed. And then like, I'll go to the funeral with you because I support you.
He had an arc of sorts enough, like I didn't need it to be about him and it wasn't, and that's why I liked it. It was like, he's there, he's kind of a schmuck, he's gonna grow a little bit, and let's keep our fingers crossed because I want Dolly to be happy, that kind of thing. And he helps
very
her,
much that.
He helps her franchise, Truvies.
That's true. That's true. Well, and I thought that was really nice. She had that moment where she was like, with the kidney thing, she was like, oh, well, they know how much they mean to each other now, how far they'll go. Got nothing from him, right? And then
no idea how far I'll go.
How far I'll go.
You have no idea how far I'll go. Come on.
I will fight gremlins mid-air for you. That's how far I love you.
That's how far. When they're going to the funeral and he's like, I don't even know what I would do. That was her moment of like, oh, he does love me.
He does really care. He just can't express it, and he's trying.
Yeah.
So, but again, I loved that was not the main focus because I don't want to watch that movie, but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, you want a little sprinkles here and there to like see, let's check in with her relationship. Oh, let's see how this is going.
Right. Because did you recognize Daryl Hannah's love interest?
No.
I was like, who the fuck is that? I know those eyes. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh my God, it's Benny from The Mummy. But like, he's really, really, really thin in The Mummy. Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. The best cherry Coke that ever existed.
Well, like any good old-fashioned female picture, we start on a giant wedding celebration. I mean...
Of course. Oh, my God. We've been talking about the wedding. Yes.
Oh, my God. Don't cover your sister's car in condoms. It's tacky.
It's tacky. Oh, the champagne flutes are broken. This house, yeah. I mean, all of these houses. I was like, these houses are insane.
Yes. But, I think I read that the main house of theirs was actually B&B, that they took over to be the house or whatever. That makes sense because it seems enormous.
Enormous. Well, and then, oh my God, the birds and the guns and the firecrackers.
The firecrackers and the crossbow and it's like, they're just going to come back.
Right. I mean, I don't know. After the firecrackers and the fire in the tree, I'm not sure if they will. It's a dramatic experience.
Yeah, everyone is meeting at the beauty shop to get their hair done for the big day. I did think it was bold that Daryl Hannah was allowed to do the mother of the bride's hair on her first day. I agree with Daryl Hannah on this one.
Yeah, Dolly, you gotta pull it together and do both. What are we doing? Maybe she can get it started and you can finish it. But like...
Right. She can wash it, but then you're going to have to come in because, I mean, it looked fine, but I was going, I don't think that is what I would be allowing.
As the mother of the bride, I would be
As the mother of
upset.
the bride. It's like, oh no, like a bridesmaid maybe. Yeah, sure. It's fine.
Yeah,
My cousin Doris, yeah, sure. Olympia Dukakis, she's just a guest. That's fine.
Right. I also love, obviously this is not the case, but I love that Dolly seemingly only has them as clients.
Of course. Absolutely.
She's opening a second franchise at the end.
I know, right?
For who?
I was like, oh, but you're going to have to hire a lot more people, and Daryl Hannah's going to be on maternity leave for a minute, so
that's true.
I hope you have a plan. I hope you have a plan, and I wish you all the success in the world. But Janice got hit in the head with a baseball. It was fabulous.
Oh my God.
Janice Van Meter got hit with a baseball. It was fabulous.
Was she hurt?
I doubt it. She got hit in the head.
There's so many great lines.
Absolutely. Like, honestly, what an iconic character introduction, right? Like, that's the first time that we meet her, and you're just like, oh, I love this bitch.
Oh, she's the one.
So, quick commercial break, and we will be back with more fabulous buns. It's
more
just
Easter eggs.
Or Easter eggs, sure.
Oh, boy. Why those were all hard-boiled.
Well, that's how you make Easter eggs.
No, I know, but...
But why were they for the wedding? What? I was confused.
They got married on Easter, I believe, or the day before or something. Oh. So it was all very like Easter this year, Easter that year, birth, rebirth, marriage, death. You know, it was all.
I missed that it was Easter or thereabouts.
You just thought the egg hunt was for their wedding?
What egg hunt?
She had a trunk full of
I
colored
didn't know
eggs.
what they were for. And then when they got smashed, I thought it was like cake. And I was like, what is with the... I didn't know.
As a kid, excited about Easter. Oh boy, can't wait to find, 55 hard-boiled eggs myself. You know, that's how many eggs there were, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I don't know how exciting it is. The exciting part is dyeing it yourself, for me.
Yes, I agree. We would always dye them, and then we would go hunt for the little plastic ones that had goodies inside.
That were full of candy and, quarters or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so that was just like, oh, yay, I found my 12th hard-boiled egg of the day. I'm getting all my protein. It just seemed a little strange.
Oh, I don't think you're eating them, I hope.
Well, what you're just throwing them away? I found one.
Well, did you eat the ones that you dyed?
Probably. You don't want to waste them.
I guess.
It's just on the shell. We used, like beet juice. We weren't using...
Fair.
We were making our own dyes, Andrew.
Good. I love it. I love that.
Turmeric, beet juice, that kind of stuff.
Love that journey for you. Anyway, quick commercial break.
Still the commercial break. We haven't even talked about Drink Your Juice, Shelby. Probably the most famous line.
Here's the juice.
Shelby, you need some juice. You need some juice.
Stop it, Mama.
Drink the juice. Please drink the juice.
No!
Yeah, and I don't know why, in all honesty.
Well, when I first watched this, because I didn't know, you don't know that what she has, right? Like, you're kind of in the dark. You don't know that she has diabetes,
At all, to that point,
at all.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh, hey, Mama, I'm this Southern Belle and blah, 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 and everything's so normal. And then this, seizure, this is camp to me. That's why it's like, why I think it is
especially with the music, it's like this horror music of dun, dun, dun. You're like, oh no, what's happening?
And she's, refusing, and you're kind of going, well, why is this happening? It's so dramatic and melodramatic that I think that is why it's just so over the top for me.
Sure.
And I think one of the most curious choices, the armadillo bachelor cake.
The armadillo?
Groom's cake. An armadillo. And then every time you see someone with a piece of it, it's like,
oh my God, you're like,
a terrifying head or the tail. Yeah. It's all frosting. It's all.
I do love a good piece of ass. That's what I loved, was that this is a movie that celebrates quick, quippy, smartass, comebacks. Yeah. I love that. How fun.
Yes. I mean, this whole movie, the library is open and is doing very well. The endowments are plentiful at the library. It is great. Men are horrible creatures. Mark my words. They'll ruin your life.
Men are the most horrible creatures, honey. They will ruin your life. You mark my words.
Such a array and kaleidoscope of women. That all, I love that. I feel like in a lot of movies, the women are all the same often.
Sure.
They're the same kind of archetypes, where this is like, a wide array of a group of different personality women who all get along, but they're very different. And that isn't that interesting in how they interact with each other. And I thought, oh, that's so fabulous.
Yes. Albeit all white. I mean, this entire
of course,
movie
I mean,
was
100%.
Kaleidoscope
Is just in personality, not in actual, colors.
Yeah.
It's, yes, definitely. It is a product of its time and place and era. I mean, you can watch the all-black Steel Magnolias TV movie remake with Queen Latifah and various other people, but it is, based on the reviews, terrible. So I haven't seen it, but it is supposed to have been awful. The cast is fabulous, but apparently the TV movie is just not very good.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, and the fun thing is everybody gets to have a fun, sassy, one line. Like, Olympia Dukakis has the best ones, obviously, but I like that everyone gets a little fun. Like, Daryl Hannah, my personal tragedy will not affect the way that I do hair. That kind of thing. She's just so having so much fun with it. And Dolly gets to say, smile, it'll improve your face value. There's just so many fun.
It's playful and
Yes.
and loving in its intent and delivery, but it's still a little snarky and or cheeky.
Oh my God. And the wedding, the bridesmaid dresses are, you haven't seen Friends still, but they are absolutely the inspiration for Rachel's pink bubblegum Pepto-Bismol Little Bo Peep bridesmaid dress that she has to wear. There's no way this isn't connected. They're wearing the same fucking hat. It's crazy.
Oh my God. This wedding was, let's just say, not for me.
It's pink and it's pink. It's blush and bashful, Mama.
Bashful. I have two colors. They're blush and bashful. They're two different shades of pink.
My colors are blush and bashful, Mama.
How precious is this wedding gonna get, I ask you?
This wedding, it looked like the Madonna Inn just vomited
Oh my God, yes.
a wedding, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So on some level I'm going, what's this? Yes, this is so crazy. But then also absolutely not. But yes, we get the wedding and then they're off and more time has passed. Now Daryl Hannah has become Dolly. I did have a question as someone who wears contact lenses. Do they spontaneously just pop out of your eye? They do.
There's a Messiah sing-along tomorrow. Oh no! Nobody move! Nobody move! My contact!
That's a trope that I've just never experienced myself because I don't wear contacts, but also have never experienced witnessing in person. So I didn't know.
I feel like my contacts probably fallen out with you, but maybe I usually am good
but
about...
it's not oh no, it's on the floor, right? That's never happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's never happened in front of me.
I would. So, well, no, I don't know if that's ever happened. A lot of times it falls onto my cheek, but sometimes it has fallen, and then I at least will never put that back in my eye.
You should absolutely not do that unless you have some ability to get some saline or something.
Exactly right. I've worn contacts since I was in 4th grade, which is crazy. This was 10 years prior, so she probably had hard contacts, which were even more, that was a whole thing. And I think they were more finicky, so it basically, if your eye gets dry or my eyes get itchy and I go like this and then it can pop out. Yeah, so that's certainly a thing. It would be even more upsetting because the hard contacts you
can't replace them, right? Mine
are now I have dailies, right? So it's oh my God, my contact fell out. Okay, just get a new one. But those would be hundreds of dollars or whatever to get a new. That's a big deal, and then you have to clean it.
Maybe that's why she went back to the glasses.
Maybe later on she was just well, the contact was gone. I wasn't gonna buy more, so.
It seemed like they were. She was at least having some correlation between being glassesless was sinful, or that was her character trait, right? Because I've got big hair and I took off my glasses and now I'm sexy, and then it was
she was very Sandra D as opposed to she was very Sandy instead of Sandra D.
Yeah.
And now she went back to Sandra D.
She reverted back to Sandra D. Can we talk about Shirley MacLaine's faces in the locker room scene?
Oh my God, yes! Oh my God, this locker room scene, so silly. The mirror,
She's got
right?
a compact.
Who cares? Shut up.
Would you call this color grape or aubergine? Shut up!
I love that Olivia Dukakis is just talking about the uniforms, and it's no one cares. The white, all those grass stains immediately. Yes, white is hard to keep clean and tackle football.
Yes. No one cares.
This is football. All the people want to hear about is touchdowns and injuries. They don't give a damn about that grape shit.
But yes, I love all the butts going by. You know, it was a lot.
Lots of butts.
I like the progression. It was like, you know, oh, here's a person like, you know, in a uniform. Oh, there's a jockstrap. Ooh.
There was that one guy who is, I think he was standing on a bench, or he seemed to be standing on something, and he had his towel tied very scantily. Like there was a slit, like you could see all the way up his thigh. And I was waiting for someone to, you know, shark him or whatever the equivalent is. And to him to have a jockstrap and go, oh, that's how, it was so kind of like, oh, I tied this just for you. It was weird. Something about it, I was like, what's going on with this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then no, it just kept panning. No. And then there was butts.
Yeah, we had it with jockstraps, and then it was just like lots of naked butts. And I was like, wow, that's fun.
Aside from like Jean-Claude Van Damme, locker room male butts was the only like acceptable male nudity.
You're right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a guy
whorehouse
thing.
in Texas. We
can be naked with each other in the locker room. That's
Right.
okay. Anywhere else, forget it. Oh my God! And Olympia Dukakis' like recounting of this coming out story of
Oh my
Mom,
God.
Dad, I've got a brain tumor and I only have 3 months to live. JK, I'm gay. I was like, ah!
That was his idea of breaking the news gently?
Marshall was always very theatrical.
Oh my God, I thought the track lighting
Like,
and then either Steve, Mike, or
yes?
Bill or whatever the fuck.
How
is
do
your
you know?
grandson?
It was
But then I
so
wanted them to
good.
like get set up, you know? It was like, oh, they
Yeah.
should hang out together.
It did seem like perhaps Dolly just wrote her own lines. I mean, I know that's absolutely not true, and the screenwriter and the play and everything, but everything that came out of her mouth, like, I have a strict policy that no one cries alone in my presence. You know, like, stuff like that
right.
was so Dolly in a way,
Yes.
you know, just like...
Like when we were talking about it earlier, I don't think anyone could do that role and be more perfect than Dolly.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Like, I can't think of anyone that I would be like, oh yeah, like it's Dolly. That's just Dolly.
It's just Dolly. Every line is so iconic.
Smart.
I mean, it's such a well-written play. It's such a great adaptation, but just like every single line is so fast. It's jam-packed. It's one of those
Yes.
movies you watch it again, you go, oh my God, I missed that last time. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I missed that last time.
Yeah.
And all of the sets. I mean, can we talk about the like Ursula the Sea Witch drag balloon at Daryl Hannah's bachelorette Halloween
Oh my
party?
God.
Fully just someone painted Ursula / like Elvira, this like makeup, like one of our shirts where we just have the makeup
Right.
on a
Yeah.
balloon. And I was
On
like,
a balloon.
yes.
Love that. Ooh, now I want an Ursula shirt like that.
Ooh, fab.
No, absolutely. There were so many lines where I was just like, oh my God. Like, it was like, I wish I could remember that. You know, like you have to watch this movie a million times to then just be like, oh, that line is quotable, that line's quotable, that line's quotable. Like, there's a quote for everything.
And they even quoted Sleepaway Camp. I mean, almost.
Drum, eat shit and die.
I wanted him to say, eat shit and live, Weezer. This movie manages, like we said earlier, to not get oppressively sad, right? Where there's other campy movies. Like, I still think Valley of the Dolls, while fabulous and campy, the second half is too sad. Like, it just goes to a place where it's not as much fun anymore. And, I mean, watch Beyond the Valley of the Dolls if you want it to be fun all the way throughout. But there are those movies, and this does, I mean, it is so sad and so tragic, but you find the point of the movie is that you find a way to move on, and life goes on, and you have to keep living, and you have to laugh at life and, you know, appreciate what you can, kind of thing. And so I think it just manages that so well.
I mean, I guess we haven't really talked too much about the plot. I guess the plot is just life. So it's like it's very like Our Towny, but like less dull and boring.
There is a stage manager going, what is it? Bedford Falls? No, that's It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Grover's Corners.
Grover's Corners. Oh, right. Well, she's a real Grover's Corners girl.
That's one of the most underappreciated jokes in that movie.
Oh my God, that movie, amazing. There was, I don't know if you saw it, there was a fun thing that was like going around for a brief hot second on Twitter of like, name a character that was in a movie for like less than 15 minutes but was completely impactful or memorable or whatever. You know, like the most...
Agador Spartacus.
Well, Agador Spartacus, I said Christine Baranski, and I just put it like, I did a tweet of her on the bridge just like... Oh, Armand.
It's true how much like the side characters, and like I've said forever, rom-coms live and die with the
Yes,
main characters' friends. And I think the same thing goes with fun side characters. Like I just rewatched Dick, that Kirsten Dunst, Michelle Williams, like Nixon throwback movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And so many fun, like Dave Foley shows up, Bruce McCullough, Will Ferrell's in it for like 5 seconds. What's his name? Sal Rubinick, or I forget how to pronounce his name, is in it. Ryan Reynolds shows up like before.
Hank Azaria.
Zimmerman. It's something like that, but it's like Rubinick or something.
Sol Zimmerstein. David Ben-Gurion.
And it was so fun, like being with all of those character actors. Dan Hedaya obviously is playing Nixon, but they're just bringing a fun to it, and that really adds so much to the movie and just enhances it all. And so anyway, I forget why we were on this plane of topics, but there you go.
Yeah, but I feel like that applies. I mean, obviously these aren't side characters. They're like, it's an ensemble
It's
cast.
an ensemble, yeah.
But because it was such a fabulous ensemble cast, like everyone held their own in a way that was, I mean, you could say like the fucking Avengers is an ensemble cast, right? But it's like, technically,
You could, yes.
is it not?
You could, yes.
Right?
Yeah, you can say that, yes.
But the vibe is
I
obviously
don't know
so
how
different.
often they are all actually in the same room, or in fact CGI'd
right.
together. That's what that was. They weren't literally ensembled, you know what I mean? They didn't assemble the ensemble. And I just watched Jumanji, and you know, it's like David Alan Grier, Bonnie Hunt, like BB Newirth. Like there's just such fun side characters in that movie that it just enhances it. It just makes it so much better. Patricia Clarkson is his mom. Forgot about that because I didn't know who she was in 1994.
Oh, interesting. Love that.
But Steel Magnolias.
Yes. The only thing that I could gather from, like, you know, obviously there's the magnolia tree, and they talk about magnolias. And then at some point, Sally Field says, like, men are garbage, and, like, they all left when she was dying. They're supposed to be made of steel, and, in fact, the women were. Is that why they're steel magnolias?
Yeah, you know, it's, they're fragile, yet it's the strongest people in the room, kind of women, you know, vulnerable, yet
it's
the most.
It's like that pussy is a weak term or whatever when they're
it's like,
strong
no!
and, can take a,
Exactly. Pussy willows, Dottie.
Dottie.
Yes, very that.
What did you just say? Pussy willows, Dottie.
I could see Kathleen Turner showing up in this movie.
Absolutely.
Just expand, I forget what the town is called, but just expand this universe.
Sure.
It's a different story about.
That's at the.
But Dolly's still Truvy, and then more fabulous people just keep showing up at the beauty shop.
Yeah, those are the people that go to Truvy 2s, you know, and then we have. Yeah.
That's what it's called. It's called Truvy 2s.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But yes, the second half of this is very sad, but like cathartic, or, I mean, you're so connected to everybody. Julie Roberts' character tragically rejects the kidney that her mother donates to her and dies. And I mean, this scene is so horrible with the baby, you know, being traumatized. Like, that was all so sad. And,
it was also kind of on her, though. I mean, this is going to sound so bad again.
This is how I felt when I first watched it. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You felt like you were sick. You were in the hospital. Be like, hey. Like, she seemed reckless in a way that I don't know if they intended necessarily.
Right. Especially as a nurse. She's like, God, I'm lightheaded. Oh, you know, whatever.
I feel like they paint diabetes with a broad brush in this film. And Shelby's a difficult character because she seems at first, you know, like a spoiled Southern belle, you know, and you're kind of going, does this, you know, bitch have beer-flavored nipples? What's going on? And then you're informed that she has lived with this her whole life and she just wants to be pink and girly and fun and all of that stuff. So I think they do a good job of explaining her character, but there are times when you're frustrated by...
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, it's like
that's
you're
life.
reading The Stranger. You know, you're reading Camus. You're going, what are you doing? You're going to get caught. Blah! You know, it's that. So, well, and it is based on, like, the writer's sister died of, like, it is based on true events. So there is that going on.
Well, now I really feel like an asshole.
What an asshole.
And, you know, tragically, Shelby is in a coma and has to be taken off life support. Like, it is sad. Like, the subject matter is sad. But there's something about Sally Field where you're just with her and you just, even when she's crying, you know, her vulnerability is contagious.
Yes.
Like you just want to
But also
be with her.
like, her motherly protectionism, like that's what I think I love. Like I don't think Brothers and Sisters would have ever worked if it weren't for Sally Field. You know what I mean?
I agree.
She is just like that is her most quintessential role.
Without Sally Field.
That's true. Gidget, never.
Mrs. Doubtfire, I think she is so integral in that movie working. Lots of things. But yes, Soap Dish. I mean, honestly, she's everything in Soap Dish.
Can we just do like a Sally Field series?
Love it. Yes. We should make a shirt that just says, I'm with Sally.
I'm with Sally. I love it.
With her helmet, her football helmet hair. I love it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it is like a football helmet.
Oh my God. If you're going to hit something, hit this!
Oh my God.
I just want to hit somebody till they feel as bad as I do. I just want to hit something. I want to hit it hard.
Hit this.
Are you high?
Go ahead, Malin. Slapper.
Are you crazy?
Hit her.
Are you high, Clary?
I love Clary. She is so incredibly fabulous.
Yes,
They're
absolutely.
fighting on the bench.
Yeah, right. Great.
And their relationship, it doesn't get that much screen time, but Clary and Weezer's relationship, these two widowers who have found, you know, a common, I think Clary's a widower, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because there was the late mayor or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both sort of financially independent widowers who are just the most fabulous friends. And, you know, they're going to love each other if they have to beat each other up over it. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's just great.
I mean, I also just watched that movie of like the two of them. But yes, it was, I mean.
Yes. But, you know, life goes on. Babies are born. Easter celebrations are had.
Oh my God. This movie ends in my literal hell. I was just like, they cut to all of those kids on that field Easter egging whatever, and I was just like,
that's
not
your
literal hell, but like I was like, no thank you.
Just
all of those kids and being like, oh no, I don't want to be there. No. Oh my God. All of those
you're
kids.
Weezer. When she's I hate public events. Well, I have to be social.
Exactly. Yep.
And that suit, that sort of yellow creamy suit with the stripes was very Troop Beverly Hills. Like less exaggerated, but I was like, yes, I could see Phyllis Neffler in this. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, it was fabulous. I thought this was nice. I guess she mentioned it before the Easter scene because then she has the baby, but she says, oh, if it's a girl, we're going to name it Shelby. I guess if it's a boy, we're also going to name it Shelby. Basically, they're going to name the baby Shelby. Well, that was sweet because that was true that they met at the wedding.
And then we end with a Easter Bunny mad dash
on a motorcycle
race to the hospital.
Nonsense.
Anyway, I'm so glad you finally got to watch this movie and experience the joy and the sadness. I mean, I was bawling. I was just like,
the tears were streaming. Yeah.
But in a good way, if that makes sense.
It's like almost a cathartic.
There is a release of, you know, instead of like, oh, I'm just depressed. There is a like, and even, I mean, the next scene, Sally Field says, wow, I guess I really needed to, you know, express myself. And they're like, yeah, you did. I feel it too.
Well, cheers to Authentic Paint for having us watch this. And cheers to all of these fabulous bunts.
Oh, my God.
And Olympia Caucus.
I know. I don't know if that's what we want to end it on, but...
sorry.
Rebirth, life, death, Easter... you know, the cross is brown and that's chocolate, which means fertility. I don't know what Easter's about. Who the fuck knows?
Kids eat chocolate eggs because the color of the chocolate and the color of the wood on the cross. Well, you tell me.
Cheers.
Cheers to fabulous buns and to Truvies on FCI.
Yes, Truvy Twos.
Yes. Cheers.